Today is 1050th day that I'm here to listen to learning. I hope this will support your dreams. Your goals allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about identity. This is a beautiful topic, identity, but I want to really look into other corner, like really look into different aspects of identity, because today I speak about when you get validated for the person that you are not. It might be that you will be getting validation for the person that is not you. Maybe you acted, maybe you did a behavior that really was not part of who you are, but you just maybe tried different things. Maybe someone asked you to do certain things, and now you get validation because they enjoyed seeing you this way. They enjoyed you seeing this way. Now you get validated. You are valid for the person that you are not. And maybe you did once, maybe you did twice, maybe you get third time, maybe you get fourth, fifth time, maybe you get from different kind of people validation for the person you are not. If you get validated by other people, it doesn't mean that this is what you're supposed to be. Just as means that your association might be that validating your version of you that you're not supposed to be validated. I think that a lot of times there's a lot of things that comes out, bad things comes out when we actually living and get validated for the person that we are not. So today we'll share 12 things that are not that good for you or for me or anyone who is really getting validated for the person that they are not. Now, I don't speak about when you're really working and pursuing and changing your identity. That's different. But when you get valid for the person who you are not and you do not want to become that person, that's a little different kind of story. So the number one is imposter syndrome. Because, of course, when you consider receiving validation for the person that you are not, you potentially could feel guilt. Like you are faking it to make it and constantly faking it. And of course, it could be that you have a massive anxiety, self-doubt, guilt, because you get recognition based on a false version of you. And of course, that's not a good place to be in. Get validation for the person that you are not. Number two is pressure to maintain that facade. Pressure to maintain that facade. That means that could be very exhausting to have that internal conflict, to really act in a certain way to get that validation from people. Because if you will not act in accordance of that validation, not in accordance of other people, the way how they want to see you, you will be rejected. And that's why we potentially could have difficulty to reconcile with true ourselves. Because at some point, we do not understand where is the mask where we are. And of course, that is not good when you start to question who I really am. Who am I? Because a lot of times I think that we start asking questions, who am I, when we actually do not live authentic life. And we do not live authentic life because we putting facade identity for other people. Number three is a loss of authenticity. Loss of authenticity. This is one big thing. That means if you have a facade, that means you distance yourself from actually living authentic life. That means if you act in accordance of facade identity, that means that you're not acting in accordance of your true identity, true authenticity. And of course, that could lead to real confusion. As I said, you get confused. So which one am I supposed to take in? Which mask am I supposed to be in? And I said, like I put a person who has like a different kind of facades, different kind of identities with different groups. Put those different groups in one room. How are they supposed to act? They will not show up because now they will not know what kind of mask they need to put in. And that's confusion. So being able to be exactly the same way in every single room, that is a blessing in general. Number four is short-term satisfaction and long-term frustration. Exactly. So that means for a moment you can be appreciated, validated, and of course that could be giving you some kind of boost of energy. There's a lot of things that could be like short-term good feelings. But at the same time, when you think about short-term feelings, will always lose compared to long-term emotions. Because when you think about really living an authentic life, well, that means that you have inner peace. And inner peace is much, 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 much more important than having that temporarily microwave emotions, microwave feelings. So number 5 is relationship strain. That means constantly really having that mask of identity that you are not. That takes away authenticity. When you really want to have deep, nurture relationships, what is important? Authenticity, being able to have deep conversation, understanding who you truly are. Because if you have a surface level conversation, that is not true relationship. That is just acquaintances. Because true friendships are built on trust, built on authenticity, built on morals and values, and connecting on those morals and values and beliefs. But if you have that false identity, and now that means if all the things are built on false, of course, that means that that relationship doesn't have strong foundations. There's no trust, and no nor depth, in that. That means that you're not able to deep connection while you have a false identity. Number 6 is identity confusion. And I mentioned that over time, you really start to confuse who you truly are, what kind of person you need to be in certain room. It's so much easier when you actually say, this is who I am, and I will be that kind of person in every single room. I know that sometimes it's hard because we have egos. I have ego, you have ego, every single person has egos. And sometimes that ego wants to protect itself at no matter what cost. And that cost is very, 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 very pricey sometimes. And we need to really say that I leave that ego behind. And I will show up as true me. And again, this is when really, because if you put that facade, if we put that mask, we put that wrong identity on a constant basis, we start really not knowing who we really are. Number 7 is emotional exhaustion. I think it's very, very difficult to constantly changing identity, changing values, changing beliefs, changing everything, changing behaviors, everything, and question which one I'm supposed to need to put right now. Look into other people, look into what you get validated for. You look into what you will be validated from different kind of people, because it might be that you will be validated, your identity will be validated by different people and different kind of identity, different kind of person. And if you like adjusting yourself, who you are in different groups, of course, that will be very, very exhausting, because it might be that you will need to change your identity 5 times a day if you're connecting with 5 different groups. So being able to really be yourself. Now, of course, I understand it sometimes it's hard, but because number 8, that's exactly it. So fear of rejection. That 8 is fear of rejection. Because when you really faked your true identity, when you were not authentic for some time, at some point, of course, the longer you have that facade, the longer you have facade, the harder it is to break that. The harder it is to break that. Because people, your friends, your family, like everyone around you, look at those groups, start to believe that that's exactly who you are. When you really try to be authentic, they will reject that authenticity potentially. For at least for a little bit. It might be that they will think that you are faking it, that true identity. They will think that you're faking a true identity. And they will say that this is not who you are, this is who you are. And they will say, no, this is who I am. No, but you acted this way. And I will say that, no, I was acting this way because like I was not okay. I was like, that means that it's not easy to really show true authenticity after a long time. That's why it's being able to really right away show who you really are is much, much better. Now, fear of rejection is a true feeling when you had that facade for a long time, because some people will not understand, and that's good. If people not able to understand who you truly are, your true authentic you, and they're not able to accept that means they're not supposed to be in your circle. That means this is a good thing. That means we need to really find who we truly are, authentic us, and find the groups that we able to fit our true identity. Not find the groups that we're able to create identity for that group to fit in. That's a totally different thing. Because being in that group with the wrong identity, with facade, will be emotionally exhausting. Number 9 is really slowing down our personal growth. Because a lot of times it might be that we are growing that identity, that facade. We're growing that facade rather than really growing ourselves. Are we growing halfly? We're growing ourselves and halfly that facade. So when we take that facade, we still have ourselves, and it will be half grown true identity. Because every identity, every single person needs to grow. But if you start splitting yourself in 5 different identities, 5 different skill sets, 5 different values, 5 different morals, and every single thing you get a little bit of energy to put and develop that identity, it's very, very hard to really achieve some kind of meaningful results. Because everyone knows that people pay for experts. People pay a lot of money for experts. But if you want to really develop your skill set, it means that you need to be very focused and productive in developing that one identity, that one skill set, that one behavior that will allow you to achieve it. But if you have 5 identities, how are you supposed to be able to achieve greatness, focusing on really pursuing those different identities? So, of course, slow down personal growth significantly. Number 10 is erosion of self-worth. I think that it's an interesting thing, because when you have that fear of rejection, when you really think about, okay, if I will be authentic, they will reject me. And if you have that thought that they will reject me, sometimes that fear of rejection comes from, they will reject me because I'm not enough for this school. I'm not enough to be there. But I think that we need to understand that the being in a group never comes from not being enough. Never, 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 never comes from not being enough. Not being part of it comes only because there's no alignment with values and beliefs. That's it. There's no alignment with values and beliefs and the vision where people are going. So when there's no alignment where people are going, what kind of values and beliefs people have, that's the best time to leave the group, and will never be not enough. Because if a person has one vision, other person other vision, so that means they're able to go to those different directions. That doesn't mean that one is better, one is worse. No, just different divisions, and that's it. But I guess a lot of times when people fear rejection, they have erosion of self-worth. Number 11 is difficulty building deep connections. Again, this is very, very difficult to really build those deep connections, because I think that every single time when you really put that facade identity, facade person, you're always really making other person feel uncomfortable, because people feel that is not who you truly are. People really feel that there's something is missing here, and they don't understand what is going on, but they know that there is something missing, and that's why they said, I don't trust that person. I don't trust this person because you are faking your facade. You are faking your identity. You got validated by other people, but this person feels that I will love different kind of you. I will love different kind of person. And they feel that there's something missing. Because I truly believe that we're not able to really fake our facade very easily every single day, because people who are very, very emotionally intelligent, people who are very emotionally intelligent, they're able to understand that you are faking something. I think that's very, very powerful. We need to stop that, because we will not be able to truly build deep connections with very strong, emotionally strong people. Number 12 is moral conflict. I think that when you have really very strong moral or values, beliefs, and really want to live your life in alignment with those values, really having that facade, that false identity, could lead to really massive conflict. And that conflict could really create internal battles. Forget about inner peace when you're in that moral conflict. Forget about all the positive emotions, because you constantly need to battle. And that's why it's emotionally constrained, because you're always looking, okay, what kind of identity are you supposed to have today? So how did you reflect as well? Have you ever changed who you are based on the surroundings, based on the group? Because I know I think that when we really find that we put ourselves different masks, I think that the biggest thing that we're able to do is really ask ourselves how I'm able to improve my self-worth, self-confidence, that I don't need to get approval by other people. The only most important approval that I need to get is myself. When you have that belief that the only approval is you, that means you can go to any kind of group and be yourself. Because I have done that. I know that I have changed myself in the past, and I know this is very exhausting. So it's very, very important to be able to say, this is who I am, and no matter where I am, and this is who I am. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.